everyone, this is M&J Travel, and today we're going to count down our top 5 rides in there's 10 in Disneyland in Anaheim, California. So in at number 5 we have Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, which can be found in Toontown, right at the back of the park. It's exclusive to Disneyland in North America anyway. It's over in Tokyo Disneyland. Sadly Magic Kingdom doesn't get it, so we've only been able to ride it a couple of times. But from those couple of... actually we only rode it once, didn't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, we only rode it once.
It just, the ride broke down while we were there.
Yeah, it took a long time to get on there.
It felt like we were there multiple times.
Yeah.
Minute 8. You've made your bed, now lie in it.
The sounds just came back on, so that means the ride might be alive again. We're not sure.
They were about to climb out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, waiting in line for Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. Thank you for your cooperation and your patience. We are on our final stages of powering back up. Thank you so much. It'll be just a few moments.
And the reason we like this ride so much is mainly because of the nostalgia from the movie, right?
Definitely for me. I mean, even as you walk around just to line up and get into the ride, that's pretty cool with all the little bits and pieces that are around. The formula for the goof stuff.
Yeah, there's like a shadow of Jessica Rabbit, and the little baby guy, he's got his little office there, and
the weasels I think are running around.
Oh yeah, the weasels are running in silhouette. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you get to see the ingredients to how to make the dip. Remember that? Remember that quite well, because that's where we got stuck.
Yeah.
We got stuck there for a while.
In the caged area.
Yeah. The ride itself is kind of like teacups, but on a track. Because you can kind of sit there and one person can spin and that kind of stuff, and it's fairly fun. Like you spun around, right, when we went?
Yeah, I was trying to direct it, but Mike keeps telling me I didn't direct it. I just spun us around.
I have no context on how easy it is to control those things, but when I was filming and I was trying to capture stuff like as it went past, and it always felt like whenever I said go left, she'd end up going right or slowly going left, and then we kind of missed our shot. So that was kind of, I like to take the mickey out of her for it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's really her fault.
It didn't appreciate the value of the ride for you.
No, the ride was still pretty good. So at number 5, Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin.
Hey! Let go of me!
Let go of it!
Number 4 for me, it's a personal favorite, Indiana Jones Adventure.
Indiana Jones Adventure. Kind of like a dark ride with a lot more action.
Yeah, it's way more than just a dark ride. I think of like Winnie the Pooh as a dark ride. You're in like a Jeep going around in the rugged with snakes and the tombs.
It's kind of like a dark ride mixed with the Great Movie Ride, because you're going around, it's like dark.
That's also, well...
But then you've also got like scenes from the movie happening. Like,
I guess.
There's a scene with Indy hanging there.
Yeah.
He
does more than that.
And he says like snakes.
He says something different every time, if I recall. Well,
does he?
At the end, there's a part where he comes out and says something different, like, "Oh, tourists." I think he says at one point, and then another time, I think it's
snakes.
Something about snakes.
Again, there's a nice like a lead up to it. It wasn't very busy when we went, but the lead up to the ride itself was quite long.
It was really long, yeah.
Like it wasn't like we didn't get stuck in a queue or anything. Towards the end we did, but just to get to the queue was like a really long walk.
That kind of helped dissipate the time, really.
Yeah, and there was little water fountains on the way.
There was. Refreshing.
But like highlights from that ride include the, I think probably the best moment was the bridge. It's like a bridge And you can see it far away. I mean, you kept pointing out.
I got really excited because I could see the people going ahead and what the seat was moving and the other thing. Yeah. So it looked really cool because people were being projected out of the buggy, but you don't really. You don't feel yourself going back in the moment.
You'll feel like you're in a Jeep that's about to fall off a bridge or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We should say again, it's another exclusive to Disneyland in North America. There is obviously Magic Kingdom, or sorry, Disney World at Hollywood Studios has the Indiana Jones live show, which after you've seen once or twice is, it's kind of not dull, but it doesn't hold the impact anymore. But we've been on that ride a couple of times and it was pretty good over and over again. So yeah, definitely check that out. If you ever go to Disneyland, check out Indiana Jones Adventure, exclusive to Disneyland in California.
Tourists. Why did it have to be tourists?
So at number 3, number 3. The fingers are really wide apart.
Pick number 3, my lord.
Number 3. We have Splash Mountain, which is not that much different from Splash Mountain at Magic Kingdom.
Isn't it though?
It's a log flume ride, as I'm sure everybody knows.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, Splash Mountain is probably the most famous log flume ride in the world, isn't it? I think. So something that the Disneyland one has that Disney World doesn't have. We believe it doesn't have it anyway. We might just be having too much fun that we don't realise it's happening. But just as we're about to descend to the big jump, there is a little possum. Could be a rabbit.
I think it's a mama possum singing to her babies, if I recall.
Yeah,
correctly.
she's singing to her little kids about staying away from the fox's lair. It's like a really haunting.
Oh my god, it's okay, don't get emotional.
It's like a really haunting little poem, I guess, because it rhymes. It's like a haunting little nursery rhyme, saying "Don't go to the fox's lair, don't go there," and she sings it in kind of an operatic. Kind of voice, and then you head underneath the vultures who tell you
I'm to be turning around.
Yeah. And then you're about to descend to your death.
Basically.
So yeah, that's really good. I mean, the whole ride, for those who haven't been on it at all, is based around Briar Rabbit, Briar Bear, and Briar Fox, and it's kind of chronicling Briar Rabbit escaping from those two guys.
Just shenanigans, basically.
Yeah, outsmarting them, which I think the only time you can see Briar Rabbit and his adventures is in Song of the South.
Number 2. Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
This is my favorite. This is my number 1.
Oh, okay.
I think the number 1 is your number 1.
Oh, okay.
But I think the music in that Space Mountain ride is so perfectly orchestrated to the loops and swirls of that ride. It is perfection.
Yeah.
You can't improve upon that ride. Try it, you can't.
So for those who haven't been on Space Mountain, it's basically a roller coaster in the dark.
Yeah.
The seats are also different.
Okay, the seat, it could be improved upon. I take it back what I said.
Yeah.
Depending on where you sit, I think
No,
my
that's
legs...
Disney World.
Was that?
Yeah, Disneyland is next to each other. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Disney World has seats where it's a row of 4 and you sit one. But in Disneyland it's 2s. You sit in 2s.
Okay. See, this is proof that we need to go again now. My memory's rusty.
Yeah. Well, I hope that's the way it is. I'm making myself to seem like an idiot, but...
Well, all I remember is the music. I remember stepping out of that ride and just thinking, there's a loop and it's building, and all of a sudden you're in that loop, and it was just so well done.
And again, I don't know if we've just been lucky, but whenever we've been on Space Mountain, there's never really been that long of a wait. But you do also wait through a spaceport. There's like a ship hanging, and you can kind of see the ride below and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty good. Sadly, Walt Disney World doesn't... I think it does have music, but it doesn't seem to match up as well as the Disneyland one.
It's in the seats behind your ears, so which just enhances the experience.
Yeah, it is really good. And number 1, the best ride at Disneyland in Anaheim has got to be the classic, the legendary Pirates of the Caribbean. And it trumps the Walt Disney World one by quite a mile.
It is true.
And the big reason for it is because the Disneyland one starts in this really kind of quiet.
It's all about the ambiance.
Bayou. That's what it is, right? It's the bayou because there's a restaurant there. You go past the Blue Bayou restaurant, and it's quiet, and you can hear crickets. And I think the number of times you've been on there, as soon as you get to that point, everyone just shuts up.
Yep.
And everyone, it always happens. Everyone just goes quiet, and you just listen to it and relax. And then after that, you know, it goes crazy. But for that moment, it kind of instantly just sets the mood for that ride, which Walt Disney World doesn't do. Walt Disney World just goes...
I remember just people talking the whole time on that ride, and it's like, shut up, man, I'm trying to enjoy.
Yeah, we've been on that ride a whole bunch of times in Walt Disney World as well, and it's always, there's people talking. It's just ruining the whole atmos. Also, what Walt Disney World does wrong is that it has all the stuff way too close to the boat you're in. So it kind of, you can kind of see how everything's working. In Disneyland, we've referred to it before, but there's a classic scene where there's like a skeleton pirate and it's raining and lightning, and at Disneyland it looks amazing because it's quite far away, so the details are kind of obscured, but you can make it out and it's awesome. But at Disney World it's so close to the boat that it just looks...
You like reach out and touch it.
Yeah, it just looks poor because it's so close. It needs to be further away to give the real proper effect. And that's why Disneyland mainly trumps it. Because of that one skeleton, everything else is pretty much the same, right? In the ride itself. I don't remember too much of a difference.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think for the most part it's more or less the same. Everything is crammed in, which is interesting because everybody talks about how small Disneyland is.
Yeah.
But that ride just like epitomizes it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
Versus Disney World kind of jam-packed everything in. I'm not sure if they were trying to save space or where the layout was in the park, but
so check out the Disneyland one. If you've been on the Walt Disney World one and you go to Disneyland and think, well, I've done that. Don't do that. Don't skip it. Definitely go, because that beginning bit where you're in the bayou and everyone just goes quiet and there's that weird atmosphere of just...
It's like, yeah, I don't know.
I just want to lie back and fall asleep. It's like really, it's fantastic. You just go to sleep in there. You can hear the crickets, as I say, and you can see the people in the restaurant eating as well, and you can give them a wave and stuff. And sometimes they wave back, sometimes they're like, don't disturb me. But
it's interesting because for both, I think, of our top favorites, it's all about the ambiance, the atmosphere for the rides. That's why I like Space Mountain's kind of stuff that kind of immerses you into the ride. And for you, it's like everybody comes together as soon as it's all quiet. Everybody's just appreciating the exact same thing.
With strangers, because you don't know anyone else in there, so you're just enjoying it with everybody. Yeah. Good stuff.
I humbly accept this magnificent treasure as my reward for my villainy, larceny, skullduggery, and persnickety. Drink up with me hearties, yo-ho. Yo-ho, yo-ho.
That's our top 5 rides at Disneyland. If you go to Disneyland, check out those 5 rides. You will not be disappointed. Tell us below what your 5 favourite rides are, because I mean we've only spent 2 full days in Disneyland. Yeah. So we didn't really get to go on every ride over and over again, unlike what we've done at Disney World. We've done those rides so many times now. But at Disneyland, we didn't really get to experience... I think we did every ride, I think.
The main attractions, for sure.
Yeah, there's maybe some smaller ones we didn't do, but... Yeah, if you can tell us something we missed, and something we may find a little bit more interesting, or give us some facts about the ride, then feel free to do that below in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.